if you've been giving of yourself, and maybe you've ever made sacrifices in a relationship, and you're asking this question, then you're dealing with someone that you can't satisfy. Okay, there are just certain people that no matter what you do, you can't satisfy them because it's always about me, me, me. So how'd you make her appreciate you more when you've done all these things for her? You don't. You can't. It's impossible because she cannot be satisfied. She will always want you to do more. Okay? Now, this is only the case in the scenario that you have been given and you have been as best a boyfriend as you can be. Okay? Now, if you haven't been these things, or maybe you think you've been these things and she's not appreciating you, then obviously if you haven't been these things, then you got to be these things and she'll probably start appreciating you more. And if you have been these things, but you're not quite sure if you're not quite sure if you've been it or not, because you're not quite sure if you're doing enough or too little, you're not quite sure how much you should do, then try to get her, try to put yourself in a position where the both of you help each other out. Okay? There's a give, there's a take. She takes, you give, you take, she gives. Try to figure out a way that both of you can have a relationship where the both of you are giving each other equally. Okay? Because that's what you want. You don't want to overdo stuff trying to get her to appreciate you, because then it's like you're constantly chasing the ball, constantly chasing the ball. And I'll tell you something, you never catch up with it. Okay? A relationship is two, right? It's between two individuals. You've got to work in it together as a partnership. So you've got to appreciate each other equally. All right? So try how to get her to appreciate you more. That's what you do. You can either, if you've done everything you can up until this point, you've been kind, you've been loving everything, and she's still not doing it, then you're probably dealing with someone you can never satisfy. And then on the flip side, if you're dealing with a situation where you're not sure if you're giving enough, then it's a situation where you have to meet her somewhere halfway and put each other in a position where you're both putting equal effort into the relationship. That way, not one person is constantly trying to appease the other, which is the trap you can fall into by trying to get her to appreciate you. And then the third scenario is if, obviously, as I described earlier, if you haven't done enough, obviously, then you should step up, right? You should step up. But not step up because you're trying to get her to appreciate you more, but step up because that's what you're supposed to do in a relationship. It's 50-50, okay? All right? You've got to appreciate each other equally. All right?